Hello and welcome to day 3 of 25 Bakes of Christmas. I'm Abby, this is Abby Bakes. Today we're going to be continuing on the theme of gingerbread, but with a classy sort of adult twist. I'm going to be making mini chocolate amaretto gingerbread tartlets. So I've never made this recipe before, I'm really excited about it. I found the recipe that I'm using on Pinterest, but I'm using heavy modifications. First I halved the recipe, then I discovered that I don't have enough cocoa powder and it's already like almost 9 o'clock at night because I don't have time management skills apparently. So I'm using far less cocoa powder, and as a result I'm increasing the chocolate, so it could turn into a complete disaster, but it'll be fun anyways. So before we get started, I am going to prepare my tins. So these are tart tins. I have 4 of them. I didn't know I had 4 of them. I thought I only had 2, so I'm really excited. And the way I'm going to prepare them is I'm going to take butter and line the inside with butter, and then I'm going to place a circle of, this is just like cooking parchment paper, in the bottom of each one, like so that when I am trying to get them out of their tins to eat, it'll be nice and easy to pop them out. So I'm going to do that, and then we will get started. So the first step is going to be to take the gingerbread dough that I made on day 2 and did not bake. By the way, if you haven't seen my day 2 video on the itty bitty mini gingerbread houses to go on your mug, you should go watch that one and then come back and finish watching this one. Or you can watch this one and then watch that one. It doesn't really matter. The point is you should watch that one. You should also like and subscribe to my channel. At any rate, the first step is going to be to roll out a thin layer of gingerbread and place it in the tart molds, and then we're actually going to blind bake those, which is baking something without the filling in it. And then we will make the chocolate amaretto ganache, which we will then put into the molds, and we'll chill them, and the chilling is what will set them up to be beautiful, delightful little tartlets. So here we go. So here you can see me buttering the tins, and it was hard because there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in there, and also the paper didn't want to stay down, so as you can see it's kind of curling weirdly. But moving on, okay, so here I'm rolling out the dough, which I will then drape over my tin and press down. It was more crumbly than I was expecting, because it really seemed like it was kind of holding together really well. And then also, sorry, I'm not in the frame. Terrible filming. Once you have it packed down into the bottom, you can use a fork to poke some holes in the bottom. And basically what's accomplished by doing that is that it won't puff up as much in the oven, and it should stay more or less flat when you're doing it. Gosh, I'm not in the frame for any of these. This is terrible. I'm very, very sorry. But the next step is to bake these at 350 degrees. I baked for 10 minutes, which is a little too long, I think. Okay, so while that's baking, you can chop up your chocolate. I used about 80 grams, and I put it in a large pot. I then added my heavy cream, which was very, very creamy and stuck to the bowl. What is that thing? Pitcher? Little pitcher. But eventually I got it all out of there. I also used, that's just white sugar. That's my like 12 grams of cocoa powder. I was supposed to use 50. I only had 12. Apologies. And you heat this and stir it for a long time. One thing that's important to note is that while you're heating and stirring this, you don't want it to get to a boiling point, because you can curdle the milk, which would be highly unpleasant and would waste all of your delicious ingredients. So you want to keep it very low. That's the amaretto liqueur that I added in. I added 35 milliliters, and then that is 15 grams of corn flour as well as 15 milliliters of milk, so equal parts. And I forgot that when you use corn flour and try to force it to do anything, it forms like oobleck. So if you've ever played with oobleck, you know why I have to hold it and wait for it to ooh down, because it got hard every time I tried to push it down, which was a bummer. Okay, so this is how it looks at the end. All right, the next step is to take your gingerbread crusts out of the oven and to cut off any of the excess. I discovered at this point that mine was a little bit overbaked on the edges, so that's unfortunate. But as you can see, they're nice and flat in the middle, and they look nicely baked overall. So here's just the final one, and as you can see, I kind of cut a lot off. I had a lot of waste in there. But the reason that you do that is because you want it to not shrink up in the oven and like come away from the sides and be a teeny tiny sad little tart. You want it to be nice and full. All right, so this is simmered for quite some time with the thickening agent of the corn flour and milk added in. So now it's nice and thick, and it's starting to look more custardy, which is exactly what we want. And as it cools, it'll continue to firm up. Alrighty, so I think that the ganache is done cooking, and I don't want it to start curdling because it's getting too hot. So what I'm going to do is, per the instructions on the blog that I'm following, I'm going to pour this into a bowl, or actually I'm going to pour it into my liquid measuring cup. I'm going to cover it and with the surface touching parchment paper so that it doesn't form a skin, and I'm going to leave it to cool for a half an hour before pouring it into my adorable little gingerbread tartlets. Okay, so I have let my ganache cool for a half an hour. It is still warm to the touch, but it's not like almost boiling anymore. And it's still nice and pourable, which is ideal, but it's thickened up quite a bit. So now I'm just gonna pour it into my tins, and then I will be done for the day because these will chill overnight, and then they'll be edible tomorrow. They're probably edible today, but they're not like in their final form, so we'll wait till tomorrow. Okay, I'm so super pleased with how these turned out. They're shiny, they're beautiful, they smell amazing. The chocolate and the amaretti liquor really come through. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the edges of the pastry. I wish that I had cooked it for maybe 8 minutes instead of 10, so that I could have had a cleaner cut because they just look a little messy. But overall, I'm really pleased. I think they're gonna taste awesome tomorrow. If you've watched this long and want to see more of the 25 Bakes of Christmas, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with all of your friends on social media so that more people will enjoy the festivities. As always, Merry Christmas and have a great night.